I'm sorry, Ace. I never meant to make you feel that way. Hello, I'm AJ Kilgore, guitar player, singer, writer, and just all around fun-loving dude. This is the first ever Ace Stardust podcast. Now my bandmates will introduce themselves.
I'm Cody. I play bass in Ace Stardust and sing on some of the songs. And I write some of the songs.
Co-writer. Hi, Mike Marquez here, coming in hot for you. Mike, drummer. Yeah.
Dude,
No writing credits.
Yeah,
You have writing credits?
you have written songs for us.
Yeah.
I would
not
say Colors.
Oh, yeah. Colors wouldn't be a song if it wasn't for you.
You came in like practice number 2, and you were like,
I was like, this song is not a good song. And you're like, we're keeping it, dude.
No. Do you remember your lyrical input on that song?
I do, because I lifted it from another band and thought it sounded cool, and then we kept it.
Didn't you just change down to up?
It was colors falling from the
You said from
sky.
the sky, and I said down.
Down from the sky. You added down from the
I
sky.
had Down from the Sky, which is a Trivium song. So
Really?
hopefully they'd never listen to this, otherwise
Is
they're
that
gonna
Down with the Sickness?
No, that's Disturbed. Don't ever mix those two bands up.
Critter Kid bands.
Critter Kids bands. Yeah.
The first podcast we get in a fight. That'd be funny.
The other song he has a writing credit on is
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. You helped a lot with Welcome. You wrote almost that entire first verse. You were just like saying stuff, and I was writing down the random things you were saying.
I do not remember that.
Yeah.
I think
I'll take musical writing credit, but no lyrical writing credit.
you got, on Welcome for sure. So, today is, or we're right around the day of our anniversary of our first ever A Stardust show.
Exactly 7 years ago, we played our first show in Albany, Oregon, at Riley's Billiards.
Yeah.
We look
So,
like babies.
For those of you who don't know, so Riley's was kind of just the Albany bar. Everyone knew Riley's. It kind of like, it was one of those bars that...
It was a pool hall that
It was
had
a pool
bar,
hall.
so I feel like it was more known as like a pool hall, and then later it got turned into like a club because they had taken out a lot of the pool tables and put like a dance floor in there.
It's a funny quick story about that. So my dad, for a while before he got his VA pension, stuff like that, this was kind of after he had a lot of his brain surgeries, and he was needing to, he was kind of to a point where he could walk around and stuff, but with a cane, a long walk with a walker. And we used to live at this house on Salem Avenue, kind of by the Circle K. And we would walk from there all the way down to Riley's. And we would hang out, and my dad somehow made friends with like the bartender guy that always worked there, and he like knew my dad was a veteran, and they would just let me and him play pool for free. And sometimes we'd have enough money to get, some sodas or something like that, or had some quarters saved up that my grandma gave us. We'd play one of two games they had there. They had the Simpsons arcade game,
Classic.
which always played Bart. My dad always played Homer. And they had the Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Classic.
Freaking amazing. And we used to play those and stuff. And one day we walked all the way down there. And they're like, we're sorry. This is a bar now. Like, your son kind of can't be in the area where the pool tables are, but we have all ages area upstairs. And my dad's like, I can't go upstairs, and he just kind of put his foot down with it. And they're like, all right, fine. Like, if you guys come in before 3:00, before we're like officially open, you guys can still play pool. So it was like, as a kid, as a I was like, man, it's cool. I'm hanging out in the bar now. I'm not supposed to be in here.
Yeah,
anymore.
didn't the upstairs area have like a restaurant area?
They did.
I never actually went upstairs.
They had a couple of different like little restaurant areas to the back side of it, and for a little while there was a really good burger joint that opened up. And we used to get burgers there. But anyways, so Riley's is kind of this old school special place, and it is gone now.
It was the cool place for me
clothing store
in high school. Like Friday nights, if you were a cool kid and had transportation to Albany, living in Lebanon, there wasn't much to do. So like the cool thing to do, if you knew someone with a car, would be go to Albany and then go to Riley's because they had the pool. They had the pool tables there.
They had the pool tables, and they'd have a DJ at night and like play music.
Yeah, those was even before that. Cause like I said before that, because I would say that I felt like, high school. This is like early 2000, 99, somewhere around there. So like they didn't even have, I feel like, the DJ or the dance floor there. It was just the pool tables. But later they started doing like live shows there, and then it was cool because I actually saw Sir Mix-a-Lot there.
Yeah,
in Albany,
that's what I was about to say. I was there.
I was there.
I went to it. I don't know if I ran into you, or if I did, I might.
No,
have
I was there with
drinks.
So one of my like old like coworkers had a free ticket and offered it to me because originally I wasn't going to go because the tickets were kind of spendy to see Sir Mix-a-Lot. But I had some other friends that were going, so when the ticket like came up to be offered, I was like, hell yeah, I'll go because like I'd go see Sir Mix-a-Lot. But I'm not going to pay like $30 to go see him. But for
I don't remember
Albany, Oregon, it was a big
lot
deal
because it was like the first time I ever went to the bar and just got like pissed drunk. And
I had a drink thrown on me that night because I was going through the crowd and I bumped into some dude with this like girl and he like got all mad and like threw it was like I think it was water but like he like threw it on my shoulder.
Me?
I was like borderline ready to get into a fight because my buddy Eddie was there, so I knew like I would have like backup with me.
You got my back, bro.
Right? No,
you
100%,
got my back,
dude. Like
dude.
Yeah. There was a crowd there that night. There was a lot of people.
Around those times way back then, I don't even remember who with, but I think I was on a date with a girl, and we like walked around the corner, and we saw somebody get like thrown into one of the big glass panels they used to have out front.
Yeah,
and he like fell to the ground, and this big fight breaks out and stuff, and I'm like, let's go to JP's. And so we just go the opposite way and go around and go to JP's instead. Anyways, little history of Riley's.
Riley's was a cool spot. It used to be like kind of the hot spot in Albany, so it was kind of a cool like honor to be able to play there in general. But our first show was cool because it was like I feel like a kind of an established place, even though there wasn't by this time Rise wasn't like the cool spot anymore, but it was still open and people
it was still open.
Like, people would still go there just to like play pool and hang out. So it was like at least you knew you'd have a crowd of people there. At least like
it definitely wasn't what it used to be. They were kind of already starting to struggle as a business before the pandemic happened, and I think once it happened, that just.
Well, and I just feel like it's not. I don't know. Like I don't know if it was just maybe the Albany era, but I feel like people just didn't really like care about playing pool. It wasn't like a cool thing to really do
I've
anymore.
also heard that the Albany Downtown Association has been really started being really against bars because even when JP's closed and then the Still opened, which was kind of like a fancy speakeasy, like served really crazy good food, it didn't last long either. And I'd seen some stuff in some of the like local happening pages and stuff that like downtown was trying to get rid of like bars. Yeah. That they were, the closest thing would be like the Vault now. Like they're trying to make it all like very bougie.
No more dive bars. We want fancy bars.
What they call that, like gentrification?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time we were playing there, this wasn't really the it spot, but it was still. But cool.
It was a spot, and it was.
It
cool.
was a spot, and
we knew some
we
guys.
had some good friends in the band Skeleton Boy, and they. So Derek and me and Mike all worked at GameStop together way back in the old days. So we were old buddies. We jammed a few times in the past and stuff, and I found out that him and his friends had started a band, and that we'd started a band, and they found this spot to play at Riley's on, wasn't it?
Like it was Wednesday night.
Wednesday of every month.
It was like their open mic night that like
was it like every other week or was it?
It was like once a month. It was like
once a month. So our first show, we show up and I don't know, there's like a dozen people there.
No, there was like 4 people.
There was like
No,
4
there was
people.
more
There was
than
like
that.
4 people there.
There was like a handful of people there. There was probably more people at that show than there was some of our later shows, but it was cool because there was nobody else signed up to be on the open mic. So really it was just like us and Skeleton Boy getting to play like 30 minutes each. And it was cool because we'd only been a band for like a couple months at that point, and like you'd only rehearsed the songs a few times. So
I mean, we even joked that it was live practice.
it was definitely like it was a live practice in us getting like comfortable on stage and like playing in front of people.
Oh, dude, like that first picture, you guys sent it to me, I'm just like looking at what we're all wearing and how we're standing on stage, and just like,
I think one of my favorite quotes is from, I think, Mike. It's like, I look like I'm in elementary school. AJ looks like he's in middle school, and Mike looks like he's in high school.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like grade school, junior high, and high school. Definitely.
That's a very accurate take on it.
I'm just wearing like a sweatshirt. Like I think it's Batman.
Yeah, you're just wearing like a Batman sweatshirt, and I was wearing my my Eagles of Death Metal bitchin' T-shirt, but like the shirt always looked kind of goofy on me. Like my pants don't really match like my shoes. I was wearing those leather shoes that I used to wear like at work, and I was like, I don't know, dude. It feels like those. You know the Reddit page where it's like the blunder years and people like post like awkward teenage photos.
Yeah, I would wear the same stuff for every show. It was like the same pair of like black like basketball shorts, and then I would wear one of my old shirts from the adult shop that had to cut the sleeves off.
Oh, dude,
and made it look all cool. And then I would always wear like the same like black hat backwards. So like our first like 10 shows, it's like the exact same like.
Well,
outfit.
I'll be honest. Like I've always like really, really respected you as a drummer. Like ever since we first jammed, and I remember like you'd show up and you're like, "Oh yeah, no, I got to put on my drum shoes and my drum shorts."
I still do that.
And I remember thinking to myself, being like, "God damn, Mike's so fucking cool. How do I keep him in our band?"
It's a comfort thing. Like when I play, I need to be as comfortable as possible because being a drummer, I'm just being a little more active. But yeah, it was like. Before, so we met in 2014, but then we didn't start the band until 2000. So it would have been 2000, I guess now 18.
Was it 2014?
Yeah, because that's when I started. I started in GameStop in November 2014.
Really? I thought it was earlier than that.
No, because I got hired on for like the holiday help of that season of 2014. Oh no, hang on, I'm sorry, not 2000.
Further back.
No, I'm sorry, not 2000. Or no, I'm sorry, not 2014. I'm getting my timeline mixed up. 2009.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. I think it goes. We go way back.
Yeah, because I worked at GameStop from 2009 to 2014.
Because I started in 2008. So,
So yeah, we met in 2009, and then
I was
it
too much of a punk.
And then 9 years later, we AJ hit me up and was like, I want to start playing like in a full band. I had this guy that plays bass, and like we wrote some songs, and we want to be like a band. We need a drummer, and you should come like jam. And I was like, all right. And that was probably like, it had to be like probably like July, probably like summertime.
Yeah.
So we'd only been a band for probably at this point like 3 or 4 months,
Right.
And we probably practiced maybe like once a month or so.
Yeah, for sure.
And you guys had already had probably like. At that point, you guys probably had at least like.
Yeah, so we can.
But you guys probably had at least like 6 original songs that were like kind of like finished songs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So to take it back, further to the origins, right? I remember, I think, Cody, you posted a Facebook message or a post, and you were talking about, what is it? You were saying that, like, I've been writing some songs. And, I think you were like, just kind of put a feeler out there for like anybody who wanted to jam.
So around the time that we started jamming, I'd been making demos for, I don't know, like 7-ish years.
Okay.
And I had this opportunity to work with Hutch Harris from the Thermals up in Portland. And I had made this EP up there, and then I posted it on Facebook. And I was playing like these Afton shows. They're
Halftime.
Yeah. So
Halftime
basically, like you had to
tickets.
sell all these
Do
tickets,
not trust them.
and
Totally
the
know
more
pyramid
tickets you
scheme.
sold, like the more money you got. I don't know. It was weird. Like you didn't start making money until like you sold like more than 20 tickets, and like I didn't really know anyone. Like, and I didn't really drive at the time too. I think I had just learned to drive like right before we.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, right before we started hanging out.
How old were you when you got your driver's license?
26.
Wow.
I was 24.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't get my license until 24. Not until I actually like moved out of my
I mean,
parents' house.
dude, the moment I turned 16, I tried over and over, and I failed my first 2 driver's tests, and then me and Tyler, I had my permit, and me and Tyler, we were all at church, and we went and took my mom's PT Cruiser and did cookies in the church
Cruiser,
parking
shout
lot,
out.
and I remember pulling around and my mom giving me the absolute death stare because we did the stupidest freaking thing possible. And my mom's like, "You are not getting your driver's license till you're 17." And I was like, "What?" And like, I'd already failed the test twice, like trying to get it. And so I just like waited and had to prove myself to my mom and everything else. So I didn't get my actual driver's license until I turned 17. But once I turned 17, I did, and 2 weeks after I got my driver's license, I crashed into a stop sign.
When did you start playing guitar?
I started playing guitar. Actually, my first guitar, my mom actually got me a little acoustic guitar, and I'd play with it a little bit, but I didn't start really getting serious with the guitar. Like I think my mom had bought me a Squier Electric at some point, and then my dad got me one as well, or I would just take that one over to my dad's house. But it was when I started taking my guitar over to my dad's house that I really started to focus on the guitar. Like he had me put up a poster with all the chords on the wall at the foot of the bed.
As we all did.
Yeah.
Did you have that poster, Cody? Did you have the poster with all the guitar
the chord
chords on
poster? So
No.
I had the chord poster, and my dad came in there and he's like, learn all of the ones that are just one letter, right? Like, don't focus on any of the other ones, right? And I just kind of just sat in front of it and would do like A, and then try to like switch over to like G, be like, oh no, and I just would work on that switching. I remember when I finally got to, I think it was like E to C or something like that. When I first got my first like couple chords where I could start like playing and switching, that was instantly when I started trying to sing along and trying to write songs, like when I barely knew anything about the guitar. Like I knew right from the get-go I wanted to write. But like I couldn't sing at the same time while playing the guitar, right? And I was gradually getting a little bit better. My dad would keep coming in and keep talking to me and trying to have conversations with me. I would get so frustrated. And then I realized that I was continuing to play the guitar while I was telling my dad to like leave me alone. And he's like, "See, you're doing it now. You're talking or singing while you're playing the guitar. I taught you that." And I'm like, "Damn it, Dad. Okay. All right. I get what you're doing now." So, if it wasn't for that encouragement stuff, I don't think I'd be playing guitar like I did, but I just was hooked. I'd literally just sit there and play until my fingers would bleed.
And so I'm sorry, what age again did you start playing?
The guitar.
Yeah, what age?
He's like what? Like you're
Sorry.
his nickname age.
I think I was probably I was middle school at the time. I want to say I was in like I might have been 6th grade actually. So however old you are when you're in 6th grade.
12-ish.
Yeah, I think it's about 12.
And then how
And
old are you?
I'm
How old were you
36 now, and I
how old are you
still
in
suck at the
2018?
What?
How old are you in 2018? So 7 years ago. How old are you now?
2008?
18.
2018.
How old
I
were you
would
when we
have
did our
been-
show?
Well, I was born in '89, so that means for half the year, I'm my last number is the same.
How old are you now?
I'm 36.
36. Okay, so you were 28. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. No, you were.
In 2018, I was 28. I was 28 for part of 2018, but I was 29 for the other part.
You're 29, so you're 29.
I'm
Okay.
born in June, so I'm only one age for half of the year.
Same here. So essentially, you've been playing for like 17 years before we had our first show.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when I finally got good enough, I used to play guitar at church. I played in the worship band. I was really jealous of a friend of ours, Caleb Thomas, because he was playing instruments in the worship band, and I always had this if Caleb does it, I got to do it too. He can't be cooler than me at church. I don't know why I always had that specific thing. I love you, Caleb, if you ever listen to this.
You guys were rivals. I remember in high school.
Dude.
Him and his posse, his group of friends, they had this video production group.
Yeah, LaPeg.
Yeah, and they would play these. They would make these advertisements for youth group, and they'd play them, and they were the coolest things ever, and you wanted to be in them.
Yeah.
And then I remember AJ had he wanted to include me and maybe some other guys to do a rival video production
Yeah.
group. And I remember in the South Albany cafeteria, you guys kind of it got heated and
Oh, really?
yeah,
I don't remember that.
Caleb is just my ass. And I was oh shit, these guys are serious. 'Cause,
Well, that's
we were
funny.
Christians. We didn't curse.
Yeah, I mean, I
He
think
was upset, it seemed like.
I mean, me and Caleb had been friends since elementary school, and you and I actually, I guess we've
known each other for 30 years.
Yeah, well, longer. Your mom says that we knew each other in the nursery, so I mean, we've been hanging out at church since we were babies.
Yeah.
So very little. So I mean, we've been buddies forever.
When did you start playing guitar, Cody?
I think it was maybe 2010 or 2009. I had kind of borrowed a bass from my youth pastor because I was gonna join the worship team, and I had this old bass that didn't even work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was, and I
So
still
was
have
your
it. I still
first
have it.
instrument a
Yeah,
bass?
I still have it, and it's in the case, and it's falling apart. It's crazy. It's cool, but and he never asked for it back, and so I just have kept it. But I took 2 or 3 lessons from Rita Thomas, Caleb's
really?
mom.
Yeah,
She gave me 2 or 3 lessons on the bass, and then,
Dude, Rita is very musically talented. She really is. And I always felt I had to try to keep up with Caleb.
yeah. And then so I went to Bible college, and then I remember me and my friend Anthony, who became my roommate, we were at McDonald's, and there was this garage sale across the street, the McDonald's on Pacific Avenue.
Yeah.
And so we go across the street, and there's this guitar, this Squire guitar, the acoustic one. And it smells like cat pee. It's missing a couple of strings, terribly out of tune.
Nice.
And I'm hey, how much you want for it? And they're $40. And I was well, I have 20. And so they're here you go. And it was the neck was all bowed. And I went home and I wrote a song on this laptop I had that was given to me by the leader of the Bible college program I went through.
Okay.
I was borrowing it, and I wrote this song on it. I mean, I already had the lyrics for it, but I
were you writing lyrics before you were
yes,
oh,
I was writing. I've been writing lyrics for since I was 17.
Wow. Okay.
So I took these lyrics and I just found 2 notes on the guitar that I just bought, and that's missing strings and terribly out of tune. And I just go back and forth on these 2 little things, and I recorded a demo. That was my first demo. The day that I got
cool.
my guitar, that was all
Dude.
shitty.
Faces staring back at me, blanknesses is what I see. Come on, God, there's got to be something more than apathy. Tell me if there's more to be. Tell me if there's more to me. There is hope. There is hope. There is hope for the hopeless. There is hope. There is love. There is love. There is love for the loveless. There is love. There is joy. Yeah, there's joy. There's joy for the joyless. There is joy. There is peace. There is peace. There is peace for the restless. There is peace. There's happiness. There is happiness. There's happiness for the happyless. There is happiness. There is hope. Yeah, there is hope. There is hope for the hopeless. There is hope. 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 There is hope for the hopeless. There is hope. There is hope. There is hope. There is hope for the hopeless. There is hope.
Recording was like the most perplexing thing to me when I was still learning. Like, I remember just making stupid setups to do some of my home recordings. Like, I bought like a little, or I don't remember where I even got it from, but I had this little like Behringer mixer, right? And it wasn't an interface. And I was trying to figure out how can I make this Behringer mixer work with my computer. And I used a whole bunch of adapters and like an aux cable and stuff, and basically had everything go to the mic in on the computer itself. And dude, everything I recorded sounded like freaking garbage. I remember getting like pissed off at it, and like I like played my acoustic really loud, and I made this dumb song about a tiny pee-pee, like about a guy that has a tiny pee-pee and he's like getting in a fight with a chick.
The origin of A Stardust.
Well, no, this is like just one of the earliest songs I can remember I recorded. I remember showing Tyler, and he's like, "Dude, I should come play drums." And like I had this little kid's toy drum set, and he's like, "Dude," and dude, so we recorded this song. It was like the first time I recorded something. It was basically jerry rigged this stupid thing. It just had a microphone like hanging from the ceiling off of something, just like trying to mic the whole room, and cranked it up all the way so you could hear everything. And I did this fucking song where I had been walking home from school and saw this like dude and this chick get in a huge fight. And I remember her screaming at him like, "You have a tiny pee-pee." And like, so I just decided to go home and like do the song. And I was like, "She said to me, you got a tiny pee-pee." And like, it just was this weird fucking song. But you know, for me, I kind of like, I was thinking about the whole Jack Black, like, can you play a song and just sing whatever comes to your mind, right? Like, I wasn't really even writing things down at that point. I was just like trying to like tune into the cosmic whatever and just like say and sing whatever and basically improv while I was playing the guitar. And what's funny is even as a teenager, a lot of my, you know, I was playing guitar at church, but I was just playing like, "Holy, holy, holy." You know, I was just playing like worship songs. But I started going to these open mics, and like, I really didn't have anything written. The only thing I really knew how to play were like these worship songs, and I needed to look cool to all my high school friends. And so, like, I would just go up on stage at Boccherini's, which was, a little coffee shop, and I would just ask the audience to be like, give me an idea, give me, like, name something. I remember one time somebody was like, Batman. I was like, all right. And so I just, on the spot, like, just played some chords and just made up crap about Batman. Like, I would just, like, try to improv songs. And then, eventually I was playing my original songs. I got brave enough to, show that. But a lot of my real original songs I started writing were like moments where I was like, man, I'm heartbroken right now, or I'm really sad, or I'm really angry, or whatever. And I was trying to create these songs to vent out, tried to write the poetry and tried to create, sounds and stuff that replicated my mood at the time and try to turn that into a song. But I was too scared to like play a lot of those. I wanted to go out and be funny. I wanted people to laugh, and I didn't want to sing songs that were like, oh, this is sad, this is depressing. And kind of the first person I started jamming with solo was a buddy of mine named Sam, who used to hang out at Boccherini's, and he played acoustic guitar, piano, bass, like played a little bit of a bunch of things. And we'd just sit out back, and he'd be like, do what you're doing, but like do it seriously. Like, you don't have to be funny. And, I thank that friend for kind of making me realize, like, oh, I can do these kinds of things, because I started just kind of doing all this solo acoustic stuff and writing these different songs and stuff, and it's because of that I actually met my wife. She bought a game for me at GameStop, and I guess her mom told her that, like, no, that guy's totally Indian, so she, like, Facebook stalked me, and I told her I was playing at Charlie's Rhythm and Brews, which was a little coffee shop, and I played my acoustic, and we went on our first date, and I was so broke that I only bought myself a beer.
I remember Rhythm and Brews. What was fun about Rhythm and Brews in Albany and all that. So me and AJ met at GameStop, and I remember at the time, like, I knew he played guitar, and I think he gave me like a CD of like his like original songs. And then cut to like later I had a surprise.
Was that
birthday
the CD
party.
where on the cover I was like naked with my guitar in front of me? Hell
You
yeah,
have
that
your,
cover rocks.
You have your Metal Gear like tattoo.
My Metal Gear tattoo is
Metal
like
Gear
up
like
front,
thing
and
is like
it's
right up front. Oh yeah,
pre-Snake.
I
Yeah.
feel like that was like an early, like, when I saw that on like Facebook, that was really inspiring to me. Like, oh yeah, we can do this ourselves. We can make our own CDs. Because I remember you posted about like playing a show and like making CDs, and I'm like, that's so cool. I want to be a part of that.
yeah. No, it was it was cool because then like we had jammed like when we actually I don't think we jammed while we worked at GameStop,
We
or maybe
did
we
a couple times.
maybe my first recollection of us jamming was for my 30th birthday party.
Right.
And
And
it
we
was
had
at Rhythm and
jammed a couple
Brews in
times.
Albany.
I mean, it's back in the day. Like, we used to, after work, we'd go to, I lived in a duplex with my buddy Tyler. We had a garage there. I had my dad's old kit, which is actually still the kit that we ended
Same
up.
kid we still play on.
Same kit, dude. My dad's old kit.
Yeah.
But we used to go to my garage and we would jam sometimes. And see, you don't really remember it, but I do. There was one night where I think me and Tyler were having a little bit of a party, and some of the GameStop crew came over, and you were there, and Derek was there, and all of us jammed in the garage.
That sounds kind of familiar. Like, I feel like there was only a handful of times that we jammed before I guess like joined the band, because this would have been. I worked at GameStop until 2014, and then we didn't start jamming again until 2018. I guess that was when we had our first show. So that was like a 4-year gap of like. We like still like we're still friends, but yeah, that we hadn't really ever like, I don't know, like did like a serious jam before where we played songs. We would just kind of tinker around a little bit. And
it really started when I invited you to play with me and Cody.
Yeah, and it was just nice because you guys already had like a handful of songs that were already just like ready to go. So it wasn't like having to like, it was learning songs, but it wasn't just having to be like write songs on the spot and then play a show. It was like you guys already had the songs, like,
right.
You guys had demo recordings of them, so it was like, okay, this is the structure of the song. I just kind of like, put my twist on it. And yeah, but it was a little nerve wracking playing that first show because I've only been practicing a few times, and yeah, it was just nervous being on stage because I always get a little bit of like stage fright, like playing in front of people for the first time, and then just not knowing the songs very well. It was yeah, it was very.
It was. I think one of the funniest things about the first show is like I had this grand idea. I had this grand idea that, oh man, like when we were first crafting Ace Stardust, I guess let's take it a couple steps back. So at the Knox Butte House, where we first initially started jamming, right? We had a lot of ideas we were floating around, and like before we even fully came up with the name, right? I was actually trying to play drums, and Cody was trying to play guitar, and had some songs written, and they were all like very spacey, very cosmic. Like, what was some of the songs we played?
The first one, I think the one that inspired it all is Solar Flare. And then also I had Speed of Light, but we didn't, I don't know, we never really
I think Speed of Light was a little harder for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And, we started...
We brought that, like, super late. Like, it was, like, 2021 when we finally brought it back in.
Speed of Light. I'm glad we did. I love Speed of Light. That song's
well, it's crazy, too, is we don't play a lot of covers. Most bands will get together and play some covers just to kind of, like, get a feel of, like, how to play together and how to, like, just play songs. But we were just playing a bunch of originals.
I think you showed...
We used to play City Hawkins Dance a lot. Me, AJ, and Tyler. He was like the first kind of...
That's right. Tyler...
drummer, but then he'd never show up to any of our...
No, yeah, that's right. So. I think because you and I tried to play... Wasn't it like a Bombs Away, like open mic-y thing where it was just you and me? So this is when we realized this is why I messaged you. We did a couple of
those. We did one
because I remember
where it was
to
me
get Tyler to like come set up the drums and play with us, but then
like also we were there was like Afton was maybe gonna do a show too.
Yeah,
as like my old like I used to play under the name of Parallel Dysfunction.
That's right.
Like, I've played under a couple different names.
Yeah.
But I remember we started doing like these sort of open mic solo shows.
Yeah.
And I think we did one at Sky High on top of the roof.
That is right.
And I remember you missed my set because...
yeah, that's right. Because I played a few songs on my acoustic. I did some of my old stuff. And you played some of your songs. That's right.
And then we did it at Bombs Away, but like I went first, and then you missed half of my set, and then we played a song together, and then you played a set, or it was the other way around.
It was something like that. So we tried a few things like that, and then that led to me messaging Mike, being like, "Hey, I know a guy. Let's see if he's willing to jam, and let's try it." But, anyways. So we had this whole grand plan in the early days. We're like, all right, it's spacey themed and stuff like that. I remember us sitting out, pitching around name ideas, and I remember just like being like, what about Ace Stardust, And we're like, well, what is Ace Stardust? Like, who is he? And, we started kind of developing this story. All right, well, what if you had a regular guy and he gets turned into a cosmic superhero, and he has girl problems and explores the universe and stuff like that.
And he has a talking chimpanzee as a sidekick named Cosmo.
Yeah.
Because you had a song called Chimpanzee that we
so originally
playing.
The concept of Ace was supposed to be like these audio files, like these like audio comic book that you had an idea for.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I'm getting to. So we were trying to develop this whole story, and I had this great idea. I was like, man, I want to be experimental with this. Why don't we make these techno books on tapes where because we were starting to, like, Cody's a spectacular writer. I think that you are so creative and so imaginative.
I started getting into like the synth.
You did. And so we were like, man, okay, so like what if we were doing some synth and some stuff like that, and we just had like a voice, and it's kind of reading part of the story, and we could record our real songs and kind of speckle in these techno books on tape to kind of tell the story. And so I had the bright idea that like, yeah, let's use one to open our first show.
20-minute intro.
And no, it wasn't that long. It was like 3 minutes, but it was like the longest 3 minutes.
It's 2 minutes because we at that first show, what we did was we had recorded a demo.
Oh my gosh.
And so at that point of our first show, we had recorded a 4-track demo of the songs The Adventures of, Lie, Speed of Sound, Infinity, and then we had these are the techno book on tapes. I labeled them on the CD as like bonus missions.
Oh, bonus
So
missions.
there's
That's cool.
chapter 1, Age of Essence, which is 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So we
And that's the one we did was the Age of the Essence.
We just stood on stage for like 2 minutes, just looking all
So the
awkward.
problem is
Just
like
waiting for the thing
there's
to
like-
end so we can start playing.
So you should find a point and just like we'll take a break and then add that entire track into this podcast, and then we'll come back.
Clip it in there.
Should we listen to it? Oh wait,
How long are we recording for?
Definitely do that.
Oh, interesting. But
Yeah, here I'm gonna stop it right now.
in the year 2055, the Earth had become so polluted that Earth was faced with mass extinction. Many species of animals were already gone, and the ocean was becoming acidic. The forests were depleting, and with it, Earth's supply of clean air. Religious outfits were calling this the end of days, and that soon God would come and save us. Mankind began to do what it does best, fight amongst itself for the last of Earth's resources. However, a miracle happened. A scientist discovered something called the quantum essence, a mysterious substance that allowed mankind to alter reality. Humanity revived forests and oceans. As the population thrived and began again to grow, the quantum essence was used to terraform Mars, Venus, and various moons. Much of mankind was tricked by the religious and began to worship the quantum essence as the spirit of God. Eventually, this religion became more than just a religion and convinced the world that the quantum essence should be in the power of the church. They became mobilized as an interplanetary force known as the Federation of the Essence, and becoming the most powerful force in the known universe. The Federation ruled the solar system with an iron fist and treated much of the universe as slaves to their plan of continuing development of the empire of planets they controlled. Resistance groups began to form, and much of Earth and Mars fell into interplanetary civil war. These efforts proved futile against the quantum essence weaponry. What was once used to save life was now being used to deliver certain death. The Federation convinced many of its fanatics that the crimes against them by the Resistance was an act of treason and blasphemy. The penalty being exile and death. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed that. So we had them play this. It's 2 minutes and 19 seconds long, right? And you know,
I remember it being way longer. I remember it being like 4 minutes.
dude, it felt forever because we all got set up on the stage, right? Like I kind of thought he was going to kind of play it. In my mind, it was like, oh man, we're going to come out to like cool fog machines and stuff. And like later on, we did do shows like that.
This show, like all the house lights were on. Like it was no ambiance.
There's a video of it. There's a full video of that.
God, there is a full video of it.
It's on
We're
our
just
YouTube.
Standing there, we're just freaking standing.
Like stand there impatiently and waiting for it to end so we could start playing. Because we only had so much time.
Oh, I do remember like us finishing that first show and both you guys looking at me like, we're not doing the techno book on tape.
Never
We're
again.
never gonna do that ever again. But like looking back, it's so funny, and it's like, man, hey, like, who cares? It was experimental. It was fun. We were trying something different, and like we were experimenting and figuring out what worked and what didn't work. So, I think those first shows were very important.
So then, our first 5 shows were at Riley's because they would do this, open mic thing. So we would show up, once a month, set up, play for, 30 minutes, and just kind of, like I said, got our...
I remember joking it was our Vegas gig, that it was, our residency.
Yeah, it's our residency.
It was our residency, yeah, but it was also, basically, our practice every week. So we would get together, once a week or once a month to practice.
Yeah.
And then there was times where we would just use that, show as, basically, glorified practice pretty much. We'd get on stage and just we were
live band practice. I mean, but honestly, for a group of guys that's kind of trying to figure it out and trying to become a band, I think that is the kind of thing that's perfect. Right?
Well, it wasn't like I said that for all of us. I guess it wasn't our first band because you guys had played previously in other stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, first real band trying to play your own music. Right, as a band, this was my first ever band like that. I had been used to, I guess playing guitar at church, but I wasn't singing. I was just playing guitar and I was backing everyone else up. I wasn't leading the song. I wasn't the guy up front.
But you'd perform music
singing.
in front of people.
And then I evolved to just
live
doing
in front of people.
Live myself though, solo mostly. Sometimes with just a bass player. I did 1 or 2 shows with Sam, but I don't know. I never had a real band, not until this. This is what changed it all, and I think in many ways. I look back to some of these old recordings and some of these old videos, and I look at where I was then to where I am now, and I had a lot to learn, still.
And we're still learning.
Okay, so here's some other songs that we played at Riot. Actually, where did this go? Okay, so we played Chimpanzee, and we played Infinity. We played Lie, and Rain. And then there's also what we titled Prologue to the Adventures of. And it's almost 5 minutes.
What the heck is Prologue to the Adventures of?
It's us just standing there
with another techno book on tape. Do we play another one?
No, that is the techno book on tape.
Oh God. That's right. And then we just dove right into playing the Adventures of. Yeah, definitely we had to do some of that kind of stuff, though, because it really helped educate us for how to go and do a show and, kick some ass. Because, I think...
And really, for us, it helped with this also just learning how to, set up our gear, fast on stage, getting it off stage, just... Yeah. Just learning the ins and outs of, playing shows and, getting our footing as far as, being prepared of, what gear to bring, what gear not to bring.
Oh, sure.
How to set it up in a timely manner, how to get it off stage,
Well, and I think, doing those shows there led to other shows that we ended up by doing. And I think that, for another podcast, we'll go over the pandemic in that time because I think there's a lot of interesting things that happened.
Yeah, it was like leading up to the pandemic, we were actually, we had no idea it was happening, but we knew we were going to take a break because you were going to have a kid.
Yeah, that's right. My wife was pregnant. We knew we were going to take a bit of a break and stuff like that. And we were trying to play as many shows as we could. But I think we played The Space at one point.
We had a handful of shows at first. I was surprised that we had some of the first shows because we did we played Riley's. We did Bombs Away in Corvallis.
Midway Music.
We did Midway Music. We did Barcidius.
The Midway Music's when we opened for Berated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a Berated show at Midway. We did a Berated show at the Space. We did a Berated show, I think.
You should talk about the Braided.
Is that when we did the Afton show in Portland and we went and
no, the Afton show in Portland was us
open mic
and SoCal Jack.
SoCal Jack.
That'll be for another show. Let's talk
Yeah.
more about the first show. That's where this is
all
the
right.
whole anniversary
Sneak
of
a
our first
preview.
show.
So anniversary of the first show.
So
Let's
what
see
else?
here.
What else do you remember from the first show?
Dude,
as far
I had
as
some bomb ass chicken strips with some ranch, dude.
I remember they had a really good. It was Ace pineapple cider.
That's right. That's right.
Still one of my favorites.
We used to be like, do not have more than 2 ciders.
Well, and I think the
It was
first
like the one
That
show
was,
you
that
had
was
3.
before I was like
Wow.
jumping
And I wanna
off the amp.
Oh, you weren't jumping back in those original shows.
I want to say I think those first.
But
couple
there was a
shows,
lot of
too,
fuzz.
There
they,
was, dude. Hell yeah.
Like, because I think it was like the first few times we played, there was like definitely it was like the open mic, and then I think we like started like trying to get them to like. We were trying to like act like it was shows, and I'm pretty sure they gave us like free like Jello shots or something. Like that
Yeah,
for
we're like,
playing.
hey, we're with the band. Did we get a
Yeah.
free drink or anything? And they're like, yeah, here's a Jello.
I think they
shot,
gave us I think it was like
bitch.
free Jello shots for coming out and like performing or whatever, just getting a crowd in there.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had a good handful of people at shows. Like it was fun to get just friends and family, especially for free shows. The first couple shows, it was nice to just be playing these like free shows because it was not something we would want to charge people to see.
Exactly.
But
Like,
it was,
I mean, we were putting our feelers out there. We were trying to. I feel like in the end, we were more so like, hey, but did you like the song? Right? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really even about the performance. It was like, does this song sound cool? Like, does it
have potential?
Does it have potential? Yeah. But I think realistically, that is what we were doing because it was like, we weren't just showing up to Riley's and practicing. Like, we were practicing at my house and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, we were just like jamming. Like we had songs and like we were like playing the songs. So it wasn't just like we were just like improv jamming on stage and just like goofing off. Like we had the structure for the songs. We knew we had a certain amount of time to play them in. So we would like
And I think as we would go back to Riley's, I think one of the other earlier songs that I think we figured out before Riley shows was "Hey Hey Hey." I think I if I remember right, I think I wrote "Hey Hey Hey," and like, dude, it was like 15 minutes. That
it was like I want to say I feel like it was like our jam kind of warm up song, kind of a goofy song that wasn't supposed to be like too serious, but then it started kind of getting catchy, and then it was a fun like sing along song for the crowd.
It's a fun like sound check song, and then people are like singing it who were listening to the sound check, and then you're like okay, maybe we should play it.
Well, I feel like it happens with a lot of our songs that like songs that we think aren't very good. We'll play a show and then people are like asking for us to play like Chimpanzee and Space Blimp, and I'm like, those are like our like half-ass songs that were like those are our goofy just whatever songs.
Well,
people
and I think in some ways like a song like Space Blimp does go back to like what I was talking about when I used to go and just do like kind of the improv song comedy thing at Boccarini's back in the day. But yeah, I mean, Space Blimp it's just a joke. I mean, it's basically one of those, it's like Blink-182's like, I wanna fuck a dog in the ass. Like, it's just like a silly little song that's not
it's good
intended.
bar music. People just hear the loudness and
They hear the loudness
of
and they're
it,
like,
and they get
what
to-
is he talking about? About toilet paper, dude? What's going on? These guys are funny, bro. Like, I feel like, it makes people turn their heads. Like, it's stupid as hell. Like, there's no...
It gets people's attention, I feel like, because it's a loud, fast song, so it'll get people's attention.
Did we play Space Blimp, like, one of those early days at Riley's?
Probably. Space Blimp was...
Is that one of the old ones?
I remember we wrote that.
Still going?
We wrote that at the Knox Butte house, and we recorded it.
Wow. Another one. It never did make it anywhere, but Divided States.
Divided States. Yeah, that was one that we kind of like.
We are
tried.
the Divided States.
And then, like, I don't know, it didn't really fit the vibe of all the other songs.
No, it didn't really fit us. But I still love the, what was it? Divided we stand, united we fall. Another conviction means nothing at all. Like,
And
it was melodic and kind of cool.
No, we have a handful of songs that like we would perform and then just kind of just fell through the tracks because I feel like that first within that first year of us playing, we had easily a good like 10 to 12 originals that we would play, and every now and then we would throw in maybe a cover here or there, maybe live. To fill space, but like it was it was nice and surprising to have so many originals like right away and not just have like a handful of songs, because like the previous bands I played in, we only had maybe 8 songs, and sometimes and maybe 2 or 3 of them might be covers.
Well, you had
so to have like a full. Album,
Captain
like
ADHD over here trying
almost,
to check out this new riff I was.
Well, no, you guys are really good songwriters. You guys already had a bunch of songs kind of established before
it's like
doing the Ace band.
I had my own song. Like Speed of Light is from like years ago, even though that wasn't one of the initial original songs. It's from years ago. And then Solar Flare was, I have several recordings of it. Like that's one of the ones I recorded with Hutch on that EP.
Oh, dude, Speed of Sound was like an old song of mine, and like we completely redid the chorus so that it fit. Because we're kind of like, I remember showing it to you, and you're like, oh, well, like this verse is cool, but I don't even remember like the chorus used to be like, oh, what is it like? Staying up late in cups of coffee. When every day's another copy. Like, it was stupid.
That performance we did for my birthday, I remember you played a little bit of the Adventures of riff, and then you played also Don't Let the Rhythm Die, which I remember that song was on that CD you gave me.
Right. Don't Let the Rhythm Die was like, I was probably like my main...
Well, it was just fun, too, because
that
like...
and Redemption were like my main songs I played when I was doing like my acoustic stuff, when
we still got to
really
record
first, like,
full
met my wife.
Stardust versions of those songs.
And I want to revive them. I want to figure out, Don't Let the Rhythm Die is such a kind of outlaws of country. Like it's
a cool bluesy rock song. It's cool because for us, it doesn't sound like our normal song. That's probably why I like it so much, because it doesn't sound like the normal Ace song. But it's cool because I feel like it'll expand our sound a little bit.
I would love to bring that back, and I'd love to bring Redemption back. Like,
that's what drew me to like.
We did end up by like trying to do them at points when we did Ace Acoustic sets.
We've played them sometimes. I just think that they're.
We've never like recorded it as a band.
They're not one of the core songs.
Yeah.
We have the Ace core songs.
The Ace core songs, and then the Ace Expanded Universe songs. So yeah, I think we were walking in with, like you said, like we had quite a few songs lined up. And it was interesting because I think that actually helped us craft a bit of our story, right? Like we're like, I remember when I showed you Lie, and I was like, dude, I love this song. This song's cool. And you were like, yeah, this song's really cool. But like, it's a breakup song. Like it's 100% like a screw you ex-girlfriend song. But, that kind of led to, well, what if Ace as a guy got totally screwed over by a girl? And, it kind of led to our storyline idea that, this girl named Destiny is the daughter of El Capitan, the leader of this evil federation of like space capitalists. And, she decides to betray Ace and shoot him into the sun. And he has the quantum essence, and it explodes, and it turns him into Ace Stardust. So he's disenfranchised, he's heartbroken, but now he's a superhero. And, I had no idea when I wrote Lie. I remember writing Lie. I remember being in like Tyler's like little single. He had a like a one, oh gosh, what is it called? A studio apartment, right? And I basically lived on his couch. And I just sat there with my guitar one day, and I was angry, and I was pissed off, and I wrote pretty much all of the like chorus and verse and structure just like right then and there. I just vented it all out and wrote it all down on paper, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, the funny thing is like the Adventures of came later.
It did.
Because it references songs that we had. Like, it references chimpanzee. It references Space Blimp. It references our joke songs.
It does.
Solar Flare.
It does.
And Solar Flare.
You're right, because, Got Evil Villains with Space Blimps, right? Like, that is a direct nod to Space Blimps. You're right. I think Space Blimp did happen first because I think we're just screwing around and came up with something silly. The adventures of, like, that riff you mentioned, like, we played it years ago. It's a riff I'd been, like, I had certain riffs that I've just kind of remembered and I always kind of go back to, right? And those are the riffs I always kind of feel like, all right, if I'm coming back to this riff over and over again as a guitar player and it's just stuck in my brain, then it's probably going to be a good riff for a
I think
song.
it's like one of our catchiest riffs. And, it was our opening song, and this now it became our closing song.
So have I ever told you, though, what that song was originally? So I wrote out that whole song. I finally figured out, like, the full chord structure and kind of all of it. I remember when I presented it to you, Cody, like, it was like kind of my take on a Reliant K song, and it was the prom song, and it was like, gosh, I really don't remember any of the words from it. Do we have any, like, recording of the prom song?
Yeah, we're gonna play it right now.
Shit.
It is. So I'm gonna talk about this recording real quick. So it is. We did when we first got together. We both recorded 2 songs each, and just kind of. I think we plugged in a microphone and we plugged in a cord to the guitar that we were playing, and we just played it. And I played a song of one of mine called "Take a Chance." It's a song I played a lot. We might bring it back. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
We've never played it.
I like Take a Chance.
And then I played a song called "Mothers and Monsters." We haven't revisited it since that initial demo.
Right.
And then the 2 songs you played were "Lie" and the prom song. And you're gonna hear the prom song now.
Listen, you with the starry skies, walking after me.
I don't know what the
And
fuck
we're
that
back with
was.
more Ace Podcast featuring Mike, Cody, and AJ
So we
of
just
Ace
listened to that
Stardust.
song.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about
Oh my god, dude. I like. Obviously, there was like, we saw the potential in the song,
Yep.
but not the lyrics because they are blunder years, so bad. I don't know. I was always kind of a hopeless romantic. I used to have like a really big problem of like, dude. I wrote too many love songs. I just wrote too many love songs. You know, when I was doing a lot of the acoustic stuff and things like that, like I was writing love songs mostly. Like I was kind of a hopeless romantic with how I was writing. And that's one of the things I loved about Ace Stardust. Once we kind of started coming up with this idea of this like, oh man, it's this guy, he travels through space and like all this stuff. And I'm like, man, okay, cool. This like gives me something interesting to like try to come up with lyrics about. And, you know, I was able to kind of look at some of the songs I'd made and, hey, can I make some tweaks and change? Like, that's why I like Speed of Sound. I totally rewrote the entire, rewrote the entire chorus. Sorry, I like got the hiccups.
how do you feel about that song, Mike?
About the Ace Stardust song?
Yeah, the demo version.
Oh, it's not. It's crazy to hear the progression of what the song turned into. Even like tonight, listening to our first recorded version from what we play now. A lot of our songs, I mean, from what we first started playing them to how we play now, have not changed dramatically, but
Right.
we've gotten just better as musicians and better at song structure, and the songs have really
Well, I mean, I think
they've evolved quite a bit.
originally, I mean, we were just using the freeware Audacity and trying to basically like multi-track things without a click track. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, like, you know, but we were trying to kind of figure out, okay, if we try to just record each part separately, we can really clean up the overall tone of each instrument, right? Can we get each instrument sounding clearly separately in different tracks? And lining it up was hard and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, those early demos are kind of out of sync, but most of it's not. It's funny because I remember telling people when we had that, I was like, that's not really what we sound like, because we were tighter when we play it together, or at least we got tighter over time. And, you know, eventually we got tight butthole.
No loose buttholes around here.
No loose buttholes.
No, I mean, it was fun to record those for the songs early on, just 'cause I think we really wanted to get something out there, because we're excited to like have this band, and like we wanted to get like merch, and like
Dude,
we
yeah.
wanted to have like like physical stuff to show people that like we're like a real band, like.
And it's just so fun. This is my favorite thing I've ever done.
Me too.
And
I think of like stuff that I've accomplished in life, and it's like, man, I'm a high school dropout. I mean, I technically kind of dropped out of college. Like, I don't know. There's so many different things. But for me, like, at the end of the day, all these different things I've done in life, I was like, well, like, my main thing is music, right? Like, I want to be a musician. And, you know, becoming a famous rock star is not necessarily easy or happens for everyone. But, you know, I was a dreamer, and like getting to do this band and getting to play shows and getting to make songs with my friends and share that with our families and have things that our kids will be able to listen to, like when we're old guys sitting on the back porch.
Yeah, it is fun to have music and songs that are more, I would say, like family friendly, because like the first couple of bands I played in like was not stuff that I would normally show to friends or family, because those are just offensive or too loud and aggressive. And yeah, no, it was the right timing too, because at the time like I had like one band that had fizzled out and was still playing in another band, but we didn't really play very often.
Right.
So when you hit me up to play, I was like, yeah, like I just want to just jam to keep playing, just to be able to play my drums.
Sure, yeah.
And then this turned into the band I played in probably the most, and then since then I've played the most with and have the most like actual like stuff to show for it. Like we actually have recordings, and we have like legit merch and
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's some cool stuff, and there's like cool stuff people have made for us, like over time.
And a lot of our stuff has been DIY.
Mm-hmm.
Like we
Dude,
only
the
just
tie-dye
recently,
shirts.
actually, like the first like, other than stickers, like the first like merch that we paid for were like from No Dinks, like a local T-shirt shop here.
We got the white shirts made with the spaceman.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
immediately
those
like
weren't even
COVID
the first
happened.
shirts. No, their first shirts. I think the first ones were the black
is
ones
right. We
with the
had
vinyl.
Yeah, that
Wasn't it the first
they
shirts we
were
had?
homemade.
Oh,
It was
no,
the
that's
homemade
right.
shirts.
The
The
very,
first
very
shirts we
first
did.
ones were the Ace helmet. Fun little fact, but so the original symbol, it's on my kit here. We have a stencil. So the helmet itself. So Danny made this.
So the original logo with the name was just A Stardust.
So
The
and it was
C
confusing because some
is
people
a
were like
helmet.
AOE. What is it? A Stardust?
Yeah.
Like
Well, originally, so the original logo with A Stardust had a banana for the C, and it was pretty easy to read as far as the A Stardust. But as we started to get more into like the space stuff and less,
tried to
with,
change
The
it to a
banana
space
logo came after the space.
yeah, this was first.
Helmet.
Danny
Was
actually
it?
did this
Yep.
first.
No.
'Cause she was saying that the visor created a C. But so that helmet, do you guys know what it is and what it's from?
Interstellar.
So it is from Interstellar. So Danny took like
All
the
right.
helmet from Interstellar, and she like
Copyright
did some stuff
infringement.
on her iPad and created a vector of it, and then like literally like tried to make a logo out of the side profile of that helmet, and yeah. I could say something really sad right now.
Well, it's just cool. Like also with our just band, I feel like there's like there's like a story behind it, so it's not just like it's a band and like here's our logo.
Well,
here's
the
our
weird other
music.
thing, so sad thing, right? The day my dad passed away, right? Like I was just like smashed, broken. I couldn't do anything, and I love space. Like I've always been fascinated with outer space. I've always like when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. That was actually like my big thing. And it was the day my dad died, and the only thing I remember doing that day other than crying was watching Interstellar. I just put Interstellar on, or it was on TV already. I just like watched the whole thing. And I don't know, I was thinking about our band. I was thinking about our music and like all these different kinds of things. And in some ways that helped me because like kind of felt him in the back of my mind being like, nah, dude, you got to keep making your music. You got to keep doing your thing. Like, you know, he used to tell me that, I'd fly like an eagle. So, but anyways, just a weird connection I just realized right now. That was sad. Say something funny, guys.
Yeah, I think the thing is like even if the show we played was terrible, it was still fun to play. Even if the recordings sounded terrible, it was still fun to record them and put them on a CD.
Sure.
And you
Yeah,
know,
and it was fun.
even
like,
though those shirts like fell apart, like
they did,
like 6 months later, it was so fun to like see people like have those shirts.
Yeah,
Shout out if you have
exactly.
one of those shirts.
Yeah,
If you ever come to a show, you get them for free.
but yeah, those shirts were funny. I remember, I did have a buddy that bought one that was like, dude, my letters fell off, and like Danny, made it.
I mean, that's the issue with
some more on for him,
when
but-
you have those homemade vinyl ones. They they
Yeah.
look cool. They
Well, that's why we pivoted from
they weren't the
that
most
and-
durable, but they were super rad because we had the different colored ones with like the silver
And that's why we went back to No Dinks. And coming soon to an A Stardust show near you, we do have them available now if you want them. But we have new shirts from No Dinks.
This is our now fourth shirt.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see. We had the
Original
original
with the black
ones.
with the vinyl.
We had the white ones, the Spaceman white ones,
We had the
which
Space
Johnny P
Baby.
from the Braided drew that for us.
Yeah, so
Yes.
our original
Space Baby. Space Baby.
Yeah, we have the Space
the
Baby, the
blue
blue
shirt,
ones, which were
the black logo with
that was our first shirt that bombed. That shirt bombed. We still have a bunch of them.
Do we really still have a bunch of those?
We have a few. I started just giving them
I
away.
think the problem
I bought
was is
them,
like, and
so.
you showed me the original image when you made the order, and it kind of looked like the black was going to be on kind of a lighter blue.
Yeah.
And it kind of came out to where it was
It's
like,
a very dark blue.
it's a darker
rich
blue with a
blue.
black print, so it's kind of hard to see.
And also, it's like
The lettering.
a space fetus, so I think people might not want to wear it.
Dude, the space fetus was cool, man.
It's a cool shirt. Just the color scheme of it, whatever.
Well, and
just,
even
it
at the
didn't- it
time,
didn't
like,
work out
and I
well.
think this is why we haven't really used it for anything. But we have my buddy who's my tattoo artist, Luke, draw us like a space baby like image. thing
We should
were gonna
have
use
that. We should release
for-
that as a shirt.
I think that would be a cool shirt, but like it'd have to be screen printed. It'd have to be real. But like he made us a really neat art of this like baby, but instead of it being an umbilical cord, it's like it's the hose with his air supply, and it's like connected to a banana floating in space. And what's funny is if you look at the baby itself, like he actually literally like draw like kind of the little wedges of a diaper. Like if you pay attention to like,
didn't know that. I have to go
it's
back and
really
look at
funny.
it.
He like when I was talking to him about it, I was like, dude, does he have a diaper? And he's like, dude, I'm so glad you noticed that because yes, I wanted to make sure that the baby was wearing a diaper under his space costume. And I'm like, yeah, bro, that's sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you know,
and the new shirts are cool. They have a cool logo, the cool color.
Our official logo. We did
the best shirts that we've probably done so far.
We did do some spray paint ones of these ones too.
we
with
did.
this
We did
design.
some spray paints of
Yeah,
this
it
logo.
was a very limited run. I feel like we only really gave them away at one show, and they were
Yeah.
kind of those were definitely
Limited edition.
Those were very
Limited edition.
homemade.
Those
I feel
were
like
ultra
those were like
homemade because-
a special run.
Well, I remember I like saw a video about like some DIY shirt ideas, and also No Dogs in Space. I was listening to at the time, and they were covering the Misfits and kind of how DIY they were, and like how the skull and everything.
I mean, if we really want to get technical, we have that other shirt that was available through Redbubble, which I'm wearing the sweatshirt
Yeah,
of it
that
now. So there was a
is
design that
true.
you could have ordered.
Are those still
online.
available on
They probably
there?
are still
Probably.
online. If you go to Redbubble, you could probably find
Redbubble, you can still buy
You can probably
those.
find our shirts on that, which has
because that's
like
just the
like
A-Star.
It's like the
and
I call it the Galaxy logo.
Oh,
It's like-
okay.
it's got the.
I do still love that image.
Rad. And they're a good price. And you
yeah.
can also get in a sweatshirt or a tank top, so you can actually customize what you get it on. You can get it more than just a shirt. You get it
Yeah.
on a tank. You could get it on. We actually also made masks with that logo on it.
That is right. We had
A Stardust,
A
COVID
Stardust
mask.
mask during the COVID. But we're gonna do COVID in a different episode.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
Come back to
and,
that. Let's wrap up the first
so
show
we'll wrap
episode.
this up. So any callbacks?
One thing that's really cool that's happened like twice this week is when I put my daughter to bed. Like sometimes she requests songs, and she requests this song that I wrote for her like literally a week after she was born. I wrote this song called Phoenix Rise. But after I sing that one, lately she's been saying A Stardust.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened since the start of the band. So
You
in the
know-
past 7 years, we all became dads.
We've all became dads, and you know
I
what?
would say half the bands that we played with aren't even around anymore.
No, not really. Like, but it's funny.
Especially
you're
during COVID, a lot of them like just stopped.
Well, I was gonna say
playing.
during COVID and during the pandemic, right? Like after Natalie was born, and like I knew I had this drive to like, oh, I want to play. But I hold Natalie and I'd be rocking her and like I suck at nursery rhymes. I don't know any of them, and so I sang her A Stardust songs, and like I used to sing her Infinity a lot. Like I used to, just do the never give up, never surrender, or give in to the hate it renders.
I always think you say hazy weather there.
hazy weather.
Every time I sing hazy weather.
Never give in to the hazy weather.
It doesn't make sense, but I just make up my own.
Actually, that's kinda sick.
I can make up my own lyric there.
No, yeah, it's never give up to the hate it renders is like the kind of the concepts like never give up, never surrender is absolutely like from Galaxy Quest. It's the motto that they say. They say never give up, never surrender. Like that's like, anyways, and but I liked taking it and then applying that motto to like depression. Never give up, never surrender, never give in to the hate it renders. Like the whole concept there is like you can't ever give in to your depression. You can never give in to the darkness that's inside of you, right? Like, and that's where we've been open about. And one of the things like I'm really proud of as a band is like, we've done shows where we're, trying to be like, hey, like if you're depressed, if you feel suicidal, like this is the National Suicide Hotline number, or like, talk with somebody. Like we've tried to kind of use our music to spread a good message about mental health, and a lot of our lyrics are there. Like, the lyric of losing my sanity to the infinity, right? Like some of those are. My dad with his brain tumor, he was always afraid that like he'd be stuck inside of his own body. His brain would still work, but like his whole body would be frozen. It was a fear of his he had ever, because he was in a coma for like 3 weeks. And so like some of that is, it's about our mind, and it's about how powerful our minds are, and that we can't ever let our mind break, and we can't give up. Wow, why am I being sad?
Because we write sad songs for happy people.
I think, I mean, that is a little bit of a fault, right? Like, and that's where it's like, I try to.
No, that's why we play music.
I mean, the end of the song isn't about that stuff. The end of the song is like, stop fucking up the planet, people. Like, oceans on fire and forests are the blood of the earth. Wait, I did that backwards. But like, like, stop screwing up the planet, guys. Captain Planet.
Planet's going to fuck you up.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of where, like, there's things like that, like the living in the apocalypse, like your whole kind of line like that. Like, I feel like it phases from a discussion about mental health to a discussion about what is happening to our world, right? And how, despite all of these different kinds of various challenges, like, we got to keep going.
And, the line, life is decay, comes from that song. And that, like, we used that as the title of our first EP, demo EP. And
right.
I actually spray painted that on a shirt.
Yeah.
To test out that. And I wore that shirt at one of those
Well,
shows.
Dude,
I think it was that punk rock prom
and we were
show.
jamming on The Great Decay, which has, like, been a concept for, like, the story and the band and stuff forever. Like, that's happening. Album 2 someday.
All right. I think this is a good place to
It's a good.
end off.
Well, thanks. If anybody has listened to it this far, I just want to say thank you for listening to a little bit of our story.
Give us some feedback. Give us some ideas of what you want to hear about the band. What kind of
follow, and subscribe.
Follow, subscribe. Subscribe to Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon.
We will.
If we make
subscribe
a Patreon,
to the OnlyFans.
Let us
The
know.
OnlyFans.
Dude, my favorite new idea is we create an Ace Stardust like OnlyFans, right? We advertise everywhere for spicy
Right into the
content,
fan club.
for spicy content. All of the spicy content is literally like we get our instruments and we eat some kind of extremely spicy food, and then we try to play our songs. That's our spicy content.